Hey everybody, it is Miss Mel here coming at you on a Friday night from my basement. I hope you're all doing well. This is a video for my adult and my teen students. So we're going to be working on a variety of different things today, kind of building off what I did in my lesson last Friday, working on some strike combos, some different kick series, both a lower belt version and an upper belt series, and a bit of a workout, and we'll throw some fundamentals in there as well. If you weren't able to see last Friday's live stream, that's because we got kicked off. So hopefully that doesn't happen to me again here today. Look, I've already got a warning. Nope, I'm all good. I did get kicked off twice during the adult stream last Friday, so I'm not sure what was going on. If that does happen to us tonight, don't worry, I will come straight back on to finish the workout. If I get kicked off again, don't worry, we will upload and we will appeal and we'll upload the video. My video from last Friday has actually been approved and it is up online, so if you want to check that out, you can do that. I hope everyone's doing well, self-quarantining and being good and washing hands and all that kind of stuff. It's good to get a bit of a sweat on when we're frustrated being at home. So I hope you can have fun with me here tonight. So we're going to get started with that in mind. All right, cheery up. Yay. All right, we're going to start with our wrists. I am solo tonight. Don't have Mr. Hung and don't have the Grandmaster, so bear with me as I do everything in the air. I wish my partner there in the corner was a little bit more mobile, but he's not. So I'm going to be doing everything air-wise, and that's okay too, as you probably will be doing at home yourself. So, and cross them up. For those who have been watching the videos, we definitely have had a lot of streams of those videos, so I hope you're enjoying them. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, things that you'd like to see, things that you'd like to change, just let us know. Shoot us a text, shoot us an email, send us a message on Facebook. We're looking at all of those, obviously, all the time right now, figuring out what will work best for everybody. Georgia Tech folks, Mr. Hung has been doing a few videos for you as well, so definitely take a look at those. I think those are being uploaded to Mr. Lee's YouTube page as well as to the Georgia Tech page, so you can take a look at those very specific technique videos. So, a couple done in the park in Cincinnati, if I was to hazard a guess as to where he was. All right, rub those kneecaps. Tap those kneecaps. Good. Rotate your right ankle. Still working with a almost broken toe, so some of my stuff will not have the greatest balance. I have found that it is messing with my balance, so please forgive me in those cases. You're going to stretch the toes you can. All right. Stretch your other toes. Good. All right, we're going to get into a straddle. Reach up. And reach down. And reach up. And reach down. And reach to one side. And to the other side. And reach to both sides. Good. You're going to turn to one side, stretch down, sit up nice and tall, stretch out your hip flexor. Good. Switch to the other side. Oh, toe doesn't want to work. Good. And now we're going to lean to one side. Try and keep this base foot on the floor as much as you can. Okay? And then stretch that foot up to the air. Put your hands down in front. Feel that stretch on the inside of your thigh. Good. Now lean over. Try and keep your foot flat on the ground. It is a balance drill and a calf stretcher right here. And pull that leg up. Hold your feet down. Hold your hands down to the center. Good. All right. Now you're going to kneel. Okay? You're going to kneel and you're going to lean back as much as you can. Trying to stretch out these muscles here. And then for those who can, go up on your toes. Like this. I'm not going to do it with my bad toe. Go up on your toes and lean back like this. Good. Just stretching out those. I don't know what they call toe tendons, I guess. All right. All right. Now take a seat. We're going to do a lot of kicks today, so we're going to warm up those legs. Bring your feet together. Butterfly. Lean forward. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your quarantine time. For those of you who are parents, I feel your pain. For those especially who are working parents, trying to work and homeschool and manage everything, my heart goes out to you. For those of you who are single, we'll just say, you must be loving life right about now. But we're all in this together, so hopefully we get through this as fast as we can. One foot in front of the other. You want to make a 90-degree bend in your leg and lean forward. This is going to stretch that outside hip flexor and try and push down that leg with your elbow. Push down on that knee. Good. Now switch feet. Same thing, 90-degree bend. Press down with that elbow as you go forward. Good. All right, straddle as much as you can and lean to your right side. You really want to work on getting your flexibility. If you can't reach your toes, every day you should give this more and more of a breath. So what happens is, as I reach as far as I can, if I take a deep breath in and then press out, as I press out, as I breathe out, try and stretch just that little bit further. And then I breathe in, and then I breathe out. And just go until you think that you've reached your limit. Don't overstretch, okay? But every day you want to try and work on stretching. Stretching is not something that happens immediately, overnight, okay? You want to keep working on your stretching. You can stretch and watch TV. You can stretch and read the news. You can stretch and watch social media. All of these things can be done with something in front of us. Read a book as we're stretching. This is something that you want to work on throughout your martial arts career, because by the time you get into the higher ranks, your kicks are going to be such that we're expecting them to get a little bit higher. Knee height, waist height just isn't going to cut it. So working on your hip flexibility, working on your stretching, that's always going to be an efficient use of your time, or an effective use of your time. So you want to make sure your legs are nice and stretched, okay? All right, we're going to cross our legs, and I want you to put two hands to one side, and you're going to turn and try and look at the wall behind you. Stretch out your back, turn the other way. Good. All right, you're going to take your right hand, you're going to rotate it down into your chest. Good. Obviously, we're not going to do a lot of punching things, but it's always good to have a habit of stretching out these tendons every day, especially with the amount of joint locks that we do. It's really important to maintain the flexibility of your joints. Now, you want to do a cutting wrist on yourself. So reach out forward with your pinky side up, grab that hand and pull that into your chest. You're basically doing a cutting wrist joint lock on yourself. And switch hands and pull that in. Okay. Now I want you to bring your fingers back on your hands. And like I was saying, with the amount of joint locks that we do, keeping good tendon flexibility in your wrists is going to benefit you long term. Okay? All right, and press down on that wrist. So I stretch my wrists out, even if I'm not doing joint lock class that day. Still want to get my wrists nice and flexible. You can hear them click, 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 popping. Pull your left arm across. And then I'm going to lay that arm down on my leg, I'm going to look the other direction. Okay, that gives me a nice stretch through my shoulder. Good. And I'm going to switch sides, put that arm on my leg, and look through to that direction. Good. Good, good, good. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my legs up over my head, straight up over your head the first time. And down over your right side. And down and over your left side. Good. And stand up. Oh, right onto my bad toe. Okay. All right. We are going to do a workout now. Don't do that in the future. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do 30 jumping jacks. Okay. Are you ready with me? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. Good, excellent. That compounded the toe issue, so no biggie. All right, we're going to do some crunchy frogs now. For those who don't know what a crunchy frog is, it's basically a starfish, okay? I'm going to take my body from an inside crunchy position. I'm going to spread out like a starfish and come in. You can see I'm not laying down on the ground as I do it. I'm staying in a crunch position as I go to this point. Okay, so they're a really good alternative to either V-ups or straight up crunches or your regular sit-ups. Okay, so it's a nice alternative to doing those. All right, and it works top, middle, and lower abs as well. Okay, so we're going to do 30 crunchy frogs. Are you ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. Okay. Good job. All right. The next one we're going to do is jump switch front kicks. Okay. So you're going to start in your fighting stance. And we're going to do a jump switch with a front kick. Okay. We're going to do 30 of those. And I'm going to go at a medium pace. Okay. A slow pace would be jump switch, set for your front kick. Jump switch, set for your front kick. If you want to go at that pace, you are fine. Fast pace would be the jump, the front kick comes off the jump. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as soon as that foot sets back, that's the motion to come forward. Okay, I'm not going to go at that speed either. Okay, we're going to go somewhere in the middle. Okay, you tune it up or down depending on what's working for you. Okay, I'm just going to catch my breath for a second here. And if you want to add a different kick in, if you say you want that kick to be a side kick each time you come up, or a roundhouse kick, or a hook kick, or a twist kick, whichever kick you want to add in, absolutely fine. The more advanced you are, the more, obviously, the larger your repertoire of kicks. If you're a white belt, feel free to do your front kick with me. Okay? Are you ready? We're going to do 30 of these. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop, balance. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoops, 1, 2. Let's go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But excellent. Okay, as I told you, my balance is off because of the toe. That's all right. The last one we're going to do for our workout is another abs exercise. These are called Mason twists, made famous by an alternative workout that we all know and love. I don't want to get kicked off for copyright again. Okay, so these are called Mason twists. We're going to bring our feet up, and you're going to touch the ground on either side of your body, okay? You probably already know exactly how to do these, but just in case, you want to lift those legs up and twist your body from side to side. We're going to do 50 of these, all right? Not just the 30. You're going to do 50 of these. See if you can hold this. It's a great exercise for lower and middle abs, okay? Are you ready? And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, 2, 6, 8, 2, 6, 8, 8. Good. How you feeling? Good workout? All right. So hopefully that was a good thing. Just get your heart racing a bit. All right. Hope you're doing well. If you've got a little bit of water, take a minute to grab a sip. It's getting warmer and warmer here in Georgia, so make sure you're hydrating. Okay. So I think what we're going to do first off is to finish off those strike combos that we were working on at the end of last Friday's workout. We'd just gotten halfway through the blue belt strike combination when I got kicked off. So first part of the blue belt strike combination, we're going to do blue belt and red belt strike combination. Oh, no, we weren't. We were going to start with the first part of the white belt strike combination for those of you who are a white belt. And you guys can work white or yellow. You guys can work these while we're working the blue and red. Okay, every time we do one of those combos, you can do your combo for your rank. Okay, so as a reminder, white belt and white with yellow strike combination is considered our white belt strike combination. Okay, so first strike is your front punch. Okay, for all my newbies, want to make sure we're punching vertically, all right? And we want to make sure we're punching with these two knuckles. These are our super knuckles, okay? And in order to get a good super knuckle position, see, if I'm holding my punch like this, you can see this straight and then it kind of goes up. If you want to get a really good position to punch with, you want to direct it down just a hair so that this bone and this bone are in alignment, okay? So then you've got really good support for this little bone by this big bone, okay? If it's off there on its own, it's very easily broken, okay? So when we strike, we punch down, angle that punch down just a little bit, okay? Whether we're doing a front punch or a reverse punch. Now, obviously, front punch, we're going to start off our front hand. Where we set up, you want to make sure your hand is over your foot and in front of your face, okay? You don't want it close to you. You don't want it all the way far out. Good, even, over your foot and in front of your face is a good rule of thumb, okay? You're going to have your front punch right there. You're going to punch it out and bring it back, okay? And then your reverse punch. Boom. I'm going to step back so you can see. As I reverse punch, I'm going to turn this foot Squish the bug, okay? As a white belt, is one of the most important things you can learn is when you're striking off your backhand, back elbow, back reverse punch, any of your outside strikes, you want to make sure that you are rotating this hip, turning this foot, and diving into the ground with the ball of the foot, okay? It's called squishing the bug. So when we get our front punch, as soon as I throw that reverse punch, everything turns, and I'm striking again with my super knuckles. Front punch, reverse punch, all right? Then we got our hook punch, okay? Hook punch off the front hand, and it's called a hook because it looks like a fishing hook. It goes out and around like a fishing hook. It doesn't come around in a big circle. That's called a roundhouse punch. Okay, roundhouse punch is front hand or backhand. Hook punch can be front hand or backhand, okay? It's a misnomer. Sometimes I hear beginners saying hook punch is off the front hand, roundhouse is off the backhand. Now, it has to do with the action of the punch. So hook, you're coming out and pulling through, okay? So out and pull, all right? Then your next strike, third strike, is your uppercut. And again, your uppercut's coming off the backhand. So I'm moving that hip, driving that foot down through to the ground, pulling up through, boom, and coming up, okay? Uppercut can be done to the gut. It can be done to under the chin. It depends on where you want the strike, okay? So those are your first four. So front punch, reverse punch, hook, uppercut, okay? Then you've got your palm heel strike off the front hand, back elbow off the backhand. Palm heel, using the bottom of your hand, boom. Palm heel can be done on front or backhand, but for this particular combo, front hand. Now your back elbow, you want to make sure that your hand is flat to the ground, okay? Not flat to yourself. Because what that does is it rolls what part of your arm is exposed in the strike. You want this nice bony bit here. You don't want this muscle, okay? So as you're striking, turning the hip, driving that foot into the ground, flat hand, and then you're striking through with that last 2 inches before the bony protrusion, okay? Boom, right there, boom. All right, and then your last one is you're grabbing the person, and you're gonna do a knee strike, front knee strike. Now your knee strike is a linear strike. You're going through forwards. You're not going up. It's not like an upward strike, okay? It is a through and forward, all right? So it's a linear strike through the person. So white belts with a yellow stripe. Here's your entire combo. Front punch, reverse punch, hook, uppercut, palm heel, front elbow, grab, front knee. Okay? Again, front punch, reverse punch, hook, uppercut, palm heel, front elbow, front knee. And if you're paying attention, you can see that it's alternating until the last strike. Front hand, backhand, front hand, backhand, front hand, backhand, grab, back knee. All right? So, all my beginners, that's the one. We went through that last week, but I wanted to just refresh for those who are joining me tonight. So you've got something to follow along when we do our blue belt strike combo and our red belt strike combo, which we're going to do now. Blue belt strike combo we started with last week, okay? So blue belt strike combo, first strike is your outside forearm strike. Remember we talked about it's not an elbow strike and it's not an outside knife hand. It is a forearm strike. It's hitting with this part of the surface. And I step forward as I strike, and it's a push strike to get the person away from you. All right? So you got your outside forearm strike. Then you have cupped hands, okay? So a double cupped hands, what's the purpose of it? That's correct. We are trying to blow an eardrum, okay? If you can blow out someone's eardrum, even with a single cupped hand, what you're going to do is you're going to mess with that person's equilibrium. They're going to fall down. You're going to be able to run away. Okay? So this is true self-defense. If you go for both and one misses, no biggie. You've got another one. All you need is one eardrum to blow, and then they're going to lose their sense of equilibrium. Okay? So outside forearm, double cupped hands. Headbutt. Headbutting using nice hard, what we consider the front corner of your head. Headbutt, and it's driving up into underside here. You're trying to come up into the person's face, okay? So up into a headbutt. Grab the side of the person, roundhouse knee. Now remember, with a roundhouse kick, you are in this position, and the force of the kick is what is the snap. Whereas in roundhouse knee, exact same position, but it's the force through your hip. Boom. That completes the strike, okay? In the case of actually having a target, you grab onto them, and the force drives through them, okay? So once you've done your roundhouse knee, boom, then we're on to our elbows, okay? It's an upward elbow, a downward elbow, and a spear elbow. So let's go through those. So your upward elbow target is up under the chin, okay? Or if they're looking down, smash up into the center of the face, okay? Now the part of the elbow that we're using again is the same part that we use for front elbow, for inside elbow. It's this portion right here. So we're going to come up, all right? And what I do is I put my hand to the side of my head, okay? Boom, all right? If I kind of hold myself in, I don't get enough, and it puts a lot of strain on my shoulder. Whereas if I put my hand to the side of my head like I'm brushing my hair back, then boom, I get a really nice strike upwards, all right? So boom, off the front hand. Because remember, elbows off the front hand, because elbows are short distance strikes, okay? Very small range. Boom, with my upward. Now when I go to do my downward elbow strike, this is where we see a lot of confusion, okay? I want to rotate this up, and I'm coming down because I'm hitting with that exact same surface, okay? Now, what we see is people come through like this, and that means they're hitting here, and that's the incorrect surface. You have to roll your shoulder, and your hand should be facing the ground so that as you come down, you hit with your elbow striking surface, okay? So you go up, and I come over and down. So what's my target? Collarbone, okay? I'm trying to bust through that collarbone. So I've gone up with the head, and then I'm coming down with the collarbone. And I tend to brace my hand as I'm coming through. Boom, all right? But you want to make sure that you have rotated that completely over, and you're hitting with the correct strike surface. I see a lot of this. Up, down, or up, down, okay? This is the wrong surface. Got it? Have I belabored that point enough? Okay? All right. And then our spear elbow. Now, spear elbow is a unique one because it's the only one in which we're going to use the pointy bit of our elbow, okay? Now, the reason why we're going to use a spear elbow at this point is we're going to try and go into the squishy, ushy, gutsy bit, okay? And the risk to damage to the middle part of the bony part of my elbow is very low when I'm hitting into the squishy bits, okay? I'm trying to hit into that xiphoid, all right? So your xiphoid process is where your lungs, the center of the lungs, it's where they start pressing on for CPR, all of that sort of stuff. You are trying to whack at that xiphoid process so that the air comes forcefully out of their lungs and they get winded. You know that feeling like when you were a little kid, you fell off the swings and you couldn't catch your breath? That's the thing you're trying to do with your spear elbow, okay? So as I go for a spear elbow, pretend my bad guy's right here. I'm going to brace my hand with my second hand, okay? And I'm going to step with my front foot, okay? And I'm going to drive that elbow in. I'm not leaning into this. I am keeping a nice, good posture, and I, boom, strike into him, all right? Come through, brace, and strike, all right? So your three elbows, you're going to go upward, downward, get your brace, strike, okay? So those again, upward, downward, spear, all right? So the whole combo put together, okay? Here, outside forearm strike, double cupped hands, headbutt, grab, roundhouse. Oh, I started on the wrong side. Let's start on the other side. Okay, outside forearm strike, double cupped hands, headbutt, grab, roundhouse. Now I've got this, upward elbow, downward elbow, spear elbow. Okay? So one more time. Okay? Outside forearm strike, double cupped hands, headbutt, roundhouse knee, upward elbow, downward elbow, spear elbow. Okay? So blue belts and blue belts with a red stripe. That is your strike combo. Last combo, okay, is the red belt strike combo. This is a big one. Okay, so anybody who's blue belt and below and my white belt, practice those techniques while we're working on our red belt strike combo. First combo is, it is a back fist spectacular, basically. So the first strike we've got is our back fist. And what we're looking for is a real whip motion. When we do a back fist, I really want to see you come across and whip that back knuckle is, because we're hitting with super knuckles. We're not hitting with the back of the hand. And I see a lot of folks doing their back fist wrist first, okay? That's not a back fist. A back fist, it's a fist, hence the name, back fist. So hitting with boom, you're whipping that through, okay? Boom, there's your back fist. Then we've got a spinning back fist. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do your spinning back fist, okay? You can either, and you're going to watch my feet on this, okay? You can either spin in place, okay? You can switch your feet, okay? Okay, and in that case, it's stepping forward and step back, all right? Or you can do a stepping, okay? So there's three ways you can do your back fist, all right, or spinning back fist. So again, back fist, spinning back fist, spinning back fist, or back fist, spinning back fist, depending on where the person has gone in relation to you, okay? I prefer just the straight up spin, okay? Boom, boom, all right? And you'll see I'm whipping that back fist each time. Whip, whip, okay? After you've done your spinning back fist, then it's a spinning back elbow. So you've gone back fist, spinning back fist. This elbow is primed, boom, to come through with a spinning back elbow, okay? 1, 2, 3, okay? Spinning back elbow, got it? Then you're going to come through with a wrist back. So for all those who are doing their back fists with the back of their hand, this is your technique. This is a wrist back, okay? So you're going to take your front hand, you're going to come across your body, wrist back. You're actually hitting with this part, bendy part of your wrist, okay? And it is a short strike, snap strike, boom, okay? And in this particular combo, we're going to do a wrist back followed by an inside wrist, okay? Inside wrist obviously is exactly what it says. So wrist back, inside wrist. So it's 1, 2, all right? And then you're going to come through with your inside forearm strike, okay? So my inside forearm strike is I am rolling over, and it's going to hit with the muscle band in here on my inside forearm, okay? So I'm here, coming through here, all right? Now, I've got a little bit like a ridge hand at this point, but I don't want to be hitting with my hand. I want to be hitting in this portion of my arm. So let's put those three strikes together. Wrist back, inside wrist, inside forearm, okay? And you notice how I naturally tend to block my hand up here because I'm coming right at this individual's face, okay, as I bring myself in for this inside forearm. So I want to make sure that I'm blocking up here for anything that might be put up towards my face as I come in for that inside forearm. All right, so let's put that whole strike combo together. All right, so we've got back fist, spinning back elbow, okay? Then we got wrist back, inside wrist, inside forearm strike. Now, I'll tell you how the black belts tend to do this, okay? Is instead of doing a spinning back elbow, completing it, and then coming back across with a wrist back, we tend to combine those two. So as I come through with my outside forearm, spinning back elbow, come through spinning back elbow, wrap it to an outside wrist back, okay? So it goes 1, 2, and then you have your inside wrist followed by this. I know that's really difficult to tell in air, okay? But again, as you come back with that spinning back elbow, the elbow hits, and then the wrist back hits, and then inside wrist, and then spinning, and then inside forearm. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense, okay? So those are your 3 strike combos, your white belt, blue belt, and red belt, okay? We're going to do the red belt one on the other side just because there's so many spins in it. We're going to go back fist, spinning back fist, spinning back elbow, wrist back, inside wrist, inside forearm strike, okay? So if you've got those at home, you're going to practice those. Practice them multiple times. The purpose of this teaching was not to get tons and tons of reps, but was to give you sort of the finer points and making sure that you guys are putting the combos together correctly in the correct order. Now, out and about and in self-defense, does it matter what order you put the strikes in? Absolutely not. But for purposes of testing you guys and putting a couple together that flow nicely together, that's really what these combos are for. So it's, from a grading perspective, it's really easy for us to grade you on the particular strikes if you're doing them in the correct order. So we would recommend that you learn them in the correct order. All right, so that's enough for strikes right now, okay? So we're going to do a few of my basics, okay? We did fundamentals last week. We did our turns. There was a couple of things that I got some questions about, not in regards to turns, but in regards to stances and in regards to duck under avoid, of all things. So I'm going to go over those 2 things, and we're going to get some clarification. So first thing are our stances. Obviously, fighting stance. We've all got this. Heels should basically line up, okay? If not, one heel space in front of the other, okay? Heel space, all right? So there's my fighting stance. Good, nice bent knee, 50-50 weight distribution. Like I was saying before, my hand is over my front foot and in front of my face. Good rule of thumb, okay? And my second hand is at my belt, ready to protect groin if need be, all right, or face. Okay, so there's my fighting stance. Second stance from here, all right, we're going to go to side stance. And that's basically where I'm going to turn my front foot completely sideways. Now, why do I do this? Okay, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, when I'm facing this way, a lot of my squishy bits are on basically a 45 degree to my opponent, okay? If I rotate my foot there, my squishy bits start facing a little further away. I'm still here protecting, but you can see the difference in my midline from a side stance to a front stance. Now, to a fighting stance. Now, also, if I'm at a side, I'm much more prepared to do a skipping or straight up side kicks, things of that nature, all right? I'm ready to chamber really, really easily from there, okay? So a couple of reasons. So there's your side stance. Next stance, what we call karate stance. Basically, I'm going to take that back foot and put it on a 45 degree, and this does the opposite of what a side stance does, okay? So a side stance is turning my squishy bits away. A karate stance is bringing them forward, okay? And it's making it so that my leg is more ready in a front kicking position, all right? So I'm here. Karate stance tends to have closed hands, but this is Hapkido and we're open-handed art, so that's up to you if you want to have closed hand versus open-handed, okay? Again, you're still 50-50 weight distribution, so that part doesn't change. Then we have our weight distribution changing stances, okay? There's really two, one of which doesn't get used very often, and I don't believe it's even in the curriculum anymore. The first one is called back stance, okay? So we're in a typical fighting stance. Back stance, I want to bring my weight distribution to about 75-25 or 70-30, where I still have a little bit of weight on my front leg, but mostly I am starting to drive off the back leg, okay? What that does, it says I'm prepping this front leg to throw a kick, okay? But I'm not fully in a ready position, okay? So you go from a back stance, then you can go to what we call a cat stance. Now, cat stance is the one that I don't think is in the curriculum anymore, but it's a neat one to know. Cat stance is where I'm 90 to 95% on this back leg and just really touching down to maintain balance with that front leg. About 5 to 10% of my weight distribution is in that front leg. Okay, and that's when it's more ready to snap a kick, to turn around, whatever it might be, because we don't have weight on it. Because if you're in a regular fighting stance and you're about to snap a kick, first thing you have to do is change your weight distribution in order to snap that kick. So if you're already in that back position, it's there, okay? So that's why we do the stances we do, right? Obviously, we also have front stance, and we went over front stance turns last Friday, okay? So if you want clarification on your front stance turns, talk last Friday. For the actual stance itself, like I was saying, 2 feet on the corners of a square, and both feet as if you are running them down the railroad tracks, okay? Parallel to each other, facing forward. Now, there is an alternative to this, and you can see in my front stance, okay, my back leg is straight and my front knee is bent. And with my front stance, I can't see my toes because my knee's in the way. If you can see your toes, you're not bent into it enough, okay? Now, there's also what we call, from this front stance, there's a kicking stance. And that's when I'm going to take my back leg and I'm going to, instead of it being straight, I'm going to bend it and raise my heel up, okay? So I'm here, I'm going to bend that and raise it up, okay? There's my kicking stance, right? And that means I am ready to go with a kick, okay? And that's in the red-black techniques. So those are all the stances. Ground fighting position, okay? One more stance that's not a usual one. Ground fighting position, basically you've been pushed to the ground, okay? You've lost your footing. People are coming at you. You want to be able to maintain an offensive position, but you're on the ground, obviously, in a defensive mode. So basically I'm going to be on one butt cheek, right? I'm going to be up on one elbow. My base leg is going to be tucked in, and my top leg is going to be ready in a nice, ready kick position, okay? Toes back, ready, all right? My front hand is protecting. If I need to drop it down to protect a groin, I can do that, but mainly it's protecting my face, okay? Remember, we are at kicking level right now, okay? So I'm here. It's really easy to strike with kicks from here. You can switch from here, okay? You can do some spins from here, all right? You can flip yourself around from here. Now, obviously, the main point of being down here is protect yourself until you can get up, okay? So when we want to get up from here, we want to step backwards, okay? And up. We don't want to be here and step forwards because you may step into some offensive technique from somebody else, okay? So this is what we call technical stand-up in grappling arts, okay? So I'm going to put this hand down, this foot down, and instead of launching myself this way, I take my underfoot backwards and stand up, okay? Technical stand-up, all right? So those are your stances. Last one is your duck under avoid is your last fundamental that we're working on. Duck under avoid basically is exactly what it says. I want to duck and I want to avoid a punch that's coming at my head. The block is a roof block, okay? The reason we want to have a roof block is so that as a punch comes, it slides up and over our arms, all right? So I'm going to block and step off to the side. Couple of things. As I step, you'll see I'm stepping in a squat position. I'm not stepping like this with my head down. I don't bend at the waist, right? I'm bending at the knees. Second part is my eyes are up because it's very easy for a bad guy to switch a hook punch to an uppercut. And if I'm looking down, I'm going to eat that uppercut, all right? So as I step, roof block, and then I come back through, okay? So step, roof block. So we're going to be looking for two things. Bending at the knees, nice good squat, and eyes up. Is your block staying above your head? No point having this really great block if as soon as you step, you drop it. I see that a lot. People have it up, and then as soon as they step, they drop it down to here. I'm going to get hit with a punch, okay? Maintain that block the whole time, okay? That's your duck under avoid. Not hard, okay? You are ducking under and avoiding someone's punch. That's where it is. Yeah? I hope that works. So we have about 15 minutes left, and I want to work on 3 kicks for lower ranks and 3 kicks for upper ranks. And you might think, 15 minutes, how are we going to do that? Well, these are kicks that oftentimes go together, okay? So on the lower rank side, we're going to work inside, outside, back crescent, okay? And on the upper side, we're going to do spin, front spin, back spin. All right? So those 3 tend to go together either in your rank or in your combos, or they make really good sense to put them together from a self-defense perspective. All right? So let's look at our crescent, okay? Our crescent kicks need to come in what we call the pie, okay? So I think of it like a pizza, a piece of pizza. So from me, out here is a piece of pizza, okay? So a slice of pizza. Does that make sense? Kind of like a triangle? Okay. And I want my back leg to come up on one side of the pizza, slice through, and then drop down on the other side of the pizza. One thing you don't want your crescent to do is come way from over here and terminate way over there, because that's about as telegraphed as you're going to get. So this huge crescent looks pretty, but from a self-defense perspective is kind of useless. Okay, they're going to block that 9 times out of 10. So what we want to do is we want to shorten that range that crescent is coming up through. Now you still need to terminate your the peak of your targeting in the center. So you need to come up, come through, and drop down in a very short span, okay? Now, you want to make sure your hands are up, you're coming up, you're coming through, how to do this in slow motion, and then you're coming down, okay? So up, down. You can see all of my kick happens right here. You switch, up, down, okay? Up, down. Now, in difference to an axe kick, in which it comes through, and instead of making it to the other side of my pizza, it strikes straight through the center, okay? You can see how I've shortened it to bring it straight through the center. So if I'm doing my crescent, right, versus my axe, right? Same thing goes for my outside crescent. I want to start it coming up on this side of the pie, coming through and dropping it here. I don't want to have this huge, pretty crescent, okay? Boom, okay? Looks lovely, easy to throw, totally will get blocked 9 times out of 10, okay? So we want to, okay, that was a little bit axy. I brought that down really shy, okay? There we go. So you want to come up, bring it through, and down. Let's do 5 of inside and 5 of outside. Are you ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch. Move this to the leg. 5 insides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 5 outsides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then the third one that goes with that combo is your back crescent. And back crescent and outside crescent to me are basically the same kick, okay? So I'm turning and I'm crescenting. And it's the same motion as that, okay? So there's an outside crescent, turn, there's my back crescent. And the same theory applies that you want to shorten the amount of time that that leg is flying through the air, okay? So when I do my back crescent, I'm not doing this big, wide, sweeping back crescent. I want to bring it through and I want to short it, cut it, okay? So back crescent, I'm still bringing it down quickly, all right? So, ooh, that was terrible. Not good with a broken toe. There we go. Okay, so let's do 5 on one side, 5 on other of your back crescents. Now keep in mind, if you're struggling to get your targeting, make sure you're not lifting this leg until you see the bag, until you see your target, okay? Because if you pick this leg up too early, you're going to target over there instead of over there. It's the same thing that I was talking about last week with the hook kicks. You got to spin yourself up, see your target, then release the leg, okay? It's about getting as much potential energy and then releasing that spring at the right moment, okay? So let's do some outside crescents. Ready? Back crescent. 5 in a row. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. There's a little axie on my part that time. Ready? Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Excellent. A little dizzy? Not too bad. So crescents are all about that pie, minimizing the amount of time that that leg is floating through the air, okay? Because that's what allows your opponent time to respond, react, block, come underneath your kick with a different kick, okay? So you want to make sure you're minimizing that time. Yeah? Cool? All right. Last kick combo. This is for my red belt, okay? Spin, front spin, back spin. This tends to cause a lot of grief, okay? Because it used to just be front spin, back spin, and everybody understood that. But spin added in front spin and back spin, so it kind of confused some folks. So let's clarify. Spin kick is a front-legged kick using your heel, okay? Front leg kick using my heel. Now, obviously, I have to do that backwards, okay? Boom. My leg is straight, okay? My knee is straight, and I'm really locking that out so that I'm hitting with the back of my heel, okay? So here, all right. Now that we talked about stances, what stance would I probably be in if I'm going to drive a front leg spin? Back stance, right? Either a back stance or a cat stance, because I need to make sure that that leg is ready to go, okay? So I'm pulling through using my hip, my rear end, my thigh. You want to make sure you're pulling that through. Second part, front spin, okay? Front spin is exactly what we've been training forever. You're going to take your back leg, lock it through, okay? So you're coming all the way through. This is a knee striking kick, okay? you're aiming at someone's kneecaps, sides of their knee. You're trying either spin or front spin. You're trying to take out people's knees, okay? So when you're coming through with your front spin, I want you making sure that you're pulling those toes back and you're aiming around knee height. Boom, okay? And you'll see I'm not soccer kicking it, okay, where I bent and I snap. I am coming through with a straight leg, okay, the whole time. Boom. Yeah? So, spin, put it down, front spin. Then that flows straight into your back spin, okay? So if I go spin, drop it down, front spin, put it off to the side, back spin, come through. So remember, your back spin is the spinning kick with my leg straight, okay, hitting with my heel. So hopefully that nomenclature makes more sense for you when you say spin and then back spin. Oh, terrible balance there. Okay, so if you're doing this as a combo, think straight leg, straight leg, straight leg. Okay, spin, put it down. Front spin, put it down. Back spin, put it down. Straight leg, straight leg, straight leg. If you are an upper belt, way upper belt, you also have drop back spin out of that combo. Not sure how my toe is going to do with this. Probably do it on this side. There we go. Okay? Once you've thrown through with your back spin, putting it behind you, knee down, drop back spin as well. Okay? So, but that's just for the advanced ones. All right? And if you want me to go over that as well, we can absolutely do that. I know there was a lot of technique talking, not a lot of technique doing, but hopefully you guys can take the combos and those kicks that go together and work them with the technique tips in mind, and really work them ad nauseum. You know, kicks are my absolute favorite thing to do in Hapkido. I lie. Joint locks, I like that too. I love grappling and throws. Pretty much I love all of Hapkido. But what I'm saying is I love doing kicks. But the only reason that I was able to train kicks, get good at kicks, get good flexibility is because I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked them. Okay? Flexibility comes with continuing to stretch yourself every day. Okay? I can't stress that enough. When you see on your belt test form at green belt, your kicks need to be higher or you need to work on flexibility, start working then. Red belt comes before you know it, and it's hard. I will tell you right then and there to start working on it. But hopefully you've gotten a bit of information, a bit of inside knowledge on those techniques, perhaps what works in self-defense versus what works for the instructors, what the instructors are looking for from a grading perspective. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed working out. You'll see me back here next Friday night. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy, working out, getting some mental health exercises as well as physical exercises, taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. Please stay safe. Take care. Cheerio. Class dismissed. Thanks, guys.